How you doing? Don't complain?
Somewhere in the remote wilderness of Alaska, far away from towns and people, Atlas had been found completely alone. From everything we were told, he had spent most of his life surviving by himself. Nobody knew exactly how long he had been out there or what he had gone through, but the fear inside him told its own story, far better than words ever could. The shelter workers warned us beforehand that he was extremely afraid of humans. Even then, nothing could have prepared me for seeing him in person. It took several staff members just to help him enter the room because he was trembling so badly he could barely move. The moment he noticed us, he quickly squeezed himself underneath a chair and curled into the smallest ball possible. What broke my heart the most was that despite all that fear, Atlas never showed any aggression. He wasn't angry, he wasn't mean, he was simply terrified. His eyes constantly scanned the room while his body stayed stiff and shaking. But underneath all of that panic, there was still something unbelievably gentle about him. I remember sitting there quietly, barely even breathing, because I didn't want to frighten him any more than he already was, and thinking about how exhausting his life must have been up until that moment. Imagine living every single day in survival mode. No comfort, no warm bed, nobody there to tell you that you're safe, no understanding of affection or kindness, just fear and instinct over and over again. Looking at Atlas that day made me realize how differently an animal's life can turn out depending on whether someone chooses to care. The first few weeks after bringing him home were emotionally difficult in ways I never expected. Our trainer explained that the best thing we could do was give him space and avoid forcing interaction. We were told not to constantly approach him or pressure him into bonding with us. That felt unnatural because every part of me wanted to comfort him, but we understood that trust could not be rushed. For months, Atlas barely came out of his kennel. During the day, he stayed completely still, carefully watching everything from a distance. The only times he seemed comfortable moving around were when we were asleep or completely out of the house. We became so worried about whether he was eating enough that we placed a camera nearby just so we could quietly check on him without making him nervous.
Doing okay, boy? I'm doing okay? Yeah. He's very anxious today. But we're standing up, so that's good.
I remember watching those camera recordings almost every day. Sometimes, after hours of silence, I would see him slowly step out of his kennel, cautiously look around the room, take a few bites of food, and quickly retreat back to safety. Those tiny moments might seem meaningless to most people, but to us, they meant everything. Every small action showed that he was trying. Then, little pieces of his personality slowly began appearing in the funniest ways. First, towels started disappearing from the bathroom, then socks, blankets, hair ties, especially my scrunchies. Whenever Atlas felt safe enough, he would quietly sneak into nearby rooms, collect anything carrying our scent, and drag it back into his kennel to build little nests around himself. He wanted those things close to him because they brought him comfort. That touched me emotionally more times than I can count, because even though Atlas was still too frightened to let us touch him, a part of him had already started connecting our scent with safety. In his own quiet way, he had started trusting us long before he learned how to physically show affection. One of the things we noticed pretty quickly was how much Atlas loved the house itself. Whenever we left to go grocery shopping or run errands, the dog we saw on the camera recordings looked completely different. The moment the front door closed, he relaxed. He wandered through the rooms, stretched out on the floor, sniffed everything around him, and sometimes even played by himself. It reminded me that healing is not linear, especially for animals that have lived with fear for a very long time. Atlas wasn't rejecting us personally, he was simply learning how to exist in a world that had never felt safe before. Atlas completely changed the way I understand love and patience. Before him, I thought bonding with a dog was about teaching commands or showing affection, but Atlas taught me that real trust is something much quieter than that. Sometimes, love looks like sitting on the floor across the room for hours so a frightened dog can slowly learn that your presence will not hurt him. Sometimes it looks like replacing stolen socks because your dog feels safer sleeping beside your scent. Sometimes it means learning to appreciate progress that is almost invisible to everyone else. We were told that his rehabilitation process could take years before he fully accepted physical affection or completely trusted people. Healing from fear takes time, especially for animals that spent so long believing the world was dangerous. What matters most is that with every passing day, Atlas chooses fear a little less than he did before.
He's cleaning your room. It'll be nice and clean for you. Okay? I'm sorry you've been evicted. It's temporary. Good boy.